This is a warning. This episode contains mature themes including violence, body horror, and death. Viewer discretion is advised.
At the center of the Ouroboros, there is an orb set upon a stand, closed and golden. The room around it, an atrium filled with books. One of the bookshelves has toppled down on top of Mona, who drove an imaginary car into this room. There are 4 methods of egress in each of the 4 directions: behind, front, left, and right. Ethyl has been inside this room and knows that one of them leads to a series of platforms which spin and connect to reliefs of ancient history. Another one of these tunnels should lead to a maze that is in fact filled with other dead Ethyls. A 4th branch, unknown, unclear, no one has been down that path.
But we're now in the room with the orb thingy?
You are now in the room with the orb thing, except one of the parallaxes. There are 2 Ethyls, 1 Hah-nah, 1 Mona, and 1 parallax.
Okay.
How properly put together is Parallax now?
I thought I was fully back together after Hannah's.
Yeah, there was 1.5 parallaxes. So our parallax is probably our parallax has got all 4 limbs.
Yeah, the other guy stayed behind. He's doing stuff.
Which is probably good that he didn't try to take the prosthetic limbs from that room.
Ooh, good point. So this is a cool place.
How it works as one of my motivations. Can I cast Precise Force to study a scene and get 9s again?
So you can study the forces enacted in this scene. You can see like how you could hit this to make it swivel. You can tell that most force applied to the orb would not cause it to move, even when you consider its mass. It's as if the orb itself is an immovable point.
I'll share with everybody what I know about the space, like the way the different halls go down, that you can attack the orb thing all you want. It doesn't seem to make it better, that this place is swarming with mean parallaxes. And I might leave out what it's the end of the maze for the moment.
So is this like the sanctum of parallaxes?
I would have said it, his hideout once upon a time layer.
No parallaxes are here.
I don't
One
believe
parallax is here.
Oh, that's good. Oh no, you've been infiltrated.
Parallax, can you control the orb because you're you?
I could certainly try. I'm
Hold on. I know some mechanical engineer. Can I try to use mechanical engineer and prime sight on it at the same time?
I'd say you can use one of those first. Which one would you like to use first?
Mechanical engineer.
All right, so roll intelligence plus mechanical engineering.
3.
With 3 successes, you can tell that there is no obvious latch or clasp, though the frame that surrounds the orb appears to be barely intricate. It's got letters and runes about it. There are several distinct places around the orb evenly spaced at 108 degrees around. You think that those places form a pentagram.
Pentagram? What do the runes say?
I will post what the runes say in the Zoom chat. They say,
Through the life inside us, I move the spirit around us. Through the time we are given, I weave the fate of our path. Through the all that is I, conjure forces to shape the world. Through these minds which contain us, I see beyond the space which divides us. Through the death that awaits us, I bring creation and matter from which to build again.
and as you say each of those words, nothing in particular happens. But all of you, since you all have some fate, you feel a fated connection to that incantation.
I cast interconnections.
As you cast interconnections, roll to see how many successes you get.
3 successes.
All right. With 3 successes, you can see the connections between yourself, Parallax, Hah-nah, and also Alora. All of you are connected to this orb. Though there seems to be a stronger connection between Ethyl and the orb.
With my always on spirit sight, do I notice anything about it? Are there any spirits associated with this? Besides, we're inside the giant snake.
Right. And this is like the heart of the snake. Spiritually, it's beating here. It's also the place where the snake devours itself. And you can see it kind of churning, creating the spiritual wind of time that was blowing past you before.
Do I see with my prime setup?
Prime Sight shows you that this room is similar in some way to the Imaginarium that you were just in. It seems to be constructed of prime, and there is a component of mind, but it's not drawing thoughts from your mind right now. Instead, it all seems to be connected to that orb in the center of the room, which is something made of not just tasks. It has matter to it. It is immensely powerful.
I need to know how this thing works.
You know what's real weird?
But
So there's all of the types of magic in these runes. We collectively have all of them, except there's no real space mind mage because all the space mages are being killed. That's just weird.
well,
The pentagram is 5, but there's only 4.
But
Usually, when you watch a movie, you all get together and put your hands in the middle and summon Captain Planet. But we're missing one.
I look at Alora.
Are we missing?
Technically, there's 6 of us, says Alora.
Yeah.
Not include you, just you don't really teleport, which is fine. That's totally fine.
Do you all teleport?
I can. But piggybacking off your Captain Planet analogy, there is one, element called heart that, we can't really see. And Alora could, in theory, be, that missing
That's
link.
cute. Yeah, maybe. Totally. And I bet she's got some weird. Never mind.
But Bona, do you remember Rex by chance? This is way back. This was This is a while ago, before we met Ermengarde, I think, and before Hah-nah again.
Well,
Rex.
Oh, Rex, yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering, do you remember some of the stuff he said about, the thing?
Yes.
I'm starting to wonder if this might be the thing he was talking about.
I don't know if I remember that conversation. I cast Supernal Dispellation.
On the orb?
Yes.
I'm not going to even have you roll for it. It doesn't work. There is no active magical effect. While this is a powerful artifact, it is beyond your ability to dispel. As you are bringing up Rex, there is the sound of a from down one of the tunnels. It sounds as though there's a series of explosions and things collapsing.
Which tunnel?
Straight ahead from you. You actually think this is the tunnel that you haven't been through yet.
That's not good.
I put up a shield.
Which one?
A forces shield, I'll put up a forces shield. No, a prime shield at the entrance.
Yeah, and I'll put up a life shield on everyone. So that's one reach. But I'm going to say in high speech, with our powers combined, Captain Planet.
So you strengthen everyone's reflexes, you give them some armor, and Mona, it sounds like you don't want to put up a shield for yourself, but you want to try to impose a wall of force in between the tunnel that is making those noises and yourself.
Yes, and the room.
Yeah, why don't you both roll those spells? And Ethyl, what are you doing?
I want to see if older Ethyl can kind of decay the orb thing. I doubt it. But if I can make the thing rot away, I want to. The orb in the middle.
I think that sounds like an appropriate use of death. Are you going to walk up to it and touch it?
No, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I believe touching it was a bad idea. So instead, I'm going to sort of draw out with ashes initially the pentagram symbol over it, but then add to it, drawing around it with ashes, using the end of my shovel as a paintbrush, and then saying in high speech, I really, 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 really hope this thing breaks.
Okay. Roll your death gnosis.
How much do I get to add to it for my wonderful addition?
Why don't you add +2 for your runes? And with the dust that you scatter in front of it, it sort of falls down over it. There is a sound as you cast this spell, kind of like a whirring, clicking sound. Hah-nah, how many successes on Life Shield?
3 successes.
All right, so everyone feels their reflexes heighten. Mona? 2. All right, you conjure a wall of force, and just as you do, there is a wave of smoke and steam, but it's black and purple, that curls down on and around that wall as you force field it up just in time.
Ooh.
No.
Someone's collapsing that tunnel. That's not great.
The spell that Ethyl is casting with 1 success does do something, but it doesn't destroy the orb. Instead, the orb begins to whirl and click and open.
Whoa.
Oh no.
Who's looking at the orb?
Me, I'm a reality engineer witch.
Okay.
And I'm distracted by weird noises.
Ethel covers
Yeah.
her eyes.
Definitely looking at it.
When you say Ethel covers her eyes, do you mean the older Ethel?
The older Ethel, throws her hand over younger Ethel's eyes, who in reflex tries to do it back to the other Ethel. You can decide how lucky she is and makes contact or not.
No, I'd say that they can both cover each other's eyes. The problem is that, Mona, you're going to have a hard time concentrating on that wall of force while you're doing this. So the steam kind of like starts curling at the edges. And then, though you have a hard time hearing it, it sounds as if there's an impact against that wall. The orb has a series of shapes. They seem impossible, but perfect, twisting in on themselves over and over again. As you look at it, roll me a resolve plus gnosis check. One success, Mona? 2.
4 successes.
Okay.
Oh, 3 successes.
All right. With all of your successes, you stare at it transfixed. You become aware that there is something beating on that wall. As you look at it, Hah-nah, you feel that it would be easy to lose yourself in this. It feels almost like a doorway left ajar.
I am significantly more wary of things that feel like invitations. I'm going to look and turn away and look at what's beating on the door, the wall.
A blackened hand beats rhythmically, rapidly against the wall.
If Parallax is close by, I'm going to whack him. Say, Parallax, it's you. It's about you.
All right. That guy should be dead. But, seeing that, I'm actually very wary of doing this, but I want to cast Prophecy.
Okay.
See how that works. And seeing as we're in a time bubble, we might not see anything.
Yeah, so you're casting a prophecy. Are you using any yantras?
Just the pocket watch.
Okay.
And maybe I'll do the high speech thing too. Well,
That'll take 2 rounds then.
2 rounds. Okay. Yeah.
As this is happening, Mona, are you holding up the barrier?
Yes, but I want to use interconnections to like find like and fate to see like where the outside the thing is rotating around it, right?
I don't understand.
Like there's a bar with all those runes rotating around it.
It is not rotating. In fact, the bar with the runes is the only thing that is stable. There are a series of rings that are rotating inside of the orb now.
In the orb, okay. I think I want to use my interconnections to see like how it works because I want to use it or see.
I don't think that it's just an interconnections roll to see how it works, but you could roll prime as you look at it. Prime gnosis. Okay.
Can I use Atlantean or my new cross for extra?
Yep. Pick one of those.
Atlantean.
All right, +2. Hah-nah?
Do I know enough about how that force as well works to know if I can push spells through it, or is it one way or the other?
I'm not sure.
Hmm. I think what I'm going to do is make us all exceptionally lucky.
Nice.
Um,
So that with Fate 2 is definitely a mana and an overreach.
yeah, so I'm going to use the mana. But I'm going to use the copper penny I have in my pocket.
That will reduce some of the paradox, but it will still be overreach if you want to apply it to the entire party. You could instead pick 3 people and have it apply to them for the next 3 rounds.
Okay, so it'll be 3 people next round. I think I'm going to do myself. Mona, and because it's probably going to be Parallax, Parallax. Okay.
Do you want to overreach even further and make it grant the Aid Again's ability?
I'd like to. So if I use high speech, will it also help with, or just for paradox?
Also, if you use both high speech and the penny, it will make it take 2 rounds.
Ooh, yeah. I'm gonna do that. I'm still only rolling Fate plus Gnosis though, right?
Fate plus Gnosis plus 3. And if you're giving everyone 8 agains, it will be 2 paradox dice, even with the paradise mitigation.
All right, well, I'm going to say, let's hope this works. It's our lucky day in high speech.
Meanwhile, Mona, you've rolled 4 successes staring into this orb, and you can see that this orb has the ability to interact with your consciousness.
All right.
You think that as you look at it, it has some sort of connection to vast supernal power. It's connected somehow to the source of where magic itself comes from. It is fascinating. It doesn't look like what the God Machine normally looks like. This one is like light falling upon the gears in some ways. It doesn't have a place. And you, besides for knowing that it's immensely powerful, have no idea what it could do. But you do think that you could activate it in some way.
If that will further my knowledge and understanding it, I do. I think I'll put a hand on it and then speak in Atlantean, protect us. All
right. So Mona, you reach out a hand into the open orb and the energy fills you. As this is happening, Ethels, what are you doing?
So I can see that Mona is trying to work with the God Machine thing, the orb thing.
You can see that Mona's about to touch this thing, yes.
Okay. No, I can't. We've covered each other's eyes. So we're still doing that, and we're going to lovingly put death wards on each other, because this probably is not going great. And while that's happening, older Ethel is going to whisper into younger Ethel's ear and tell her that there is the maze with the army of dead Ethels at the end, and thinks that if this thing coming through the gate is the Parallaxes to fight us or something more wicked, that it's maybe not a nice thing to do, but there might be an army that they can bring to fight with them.
How does younger Ethel react to being told that there are a bunch of dead hers that could be turned into zombie army?
So you hear the and then the other Ethel knowing that Ethel very well, goes, "Don't scream."
As you look into the pocket watch, you see the different futures playing out in front of you. And the other thing that happens is that Forces Ward that Mona was just maintaining ripples and pops like a bubble. The figure stumbles through, collapsing onto their knees. They are just covered in blackness. And the smoke starts pooling into the room as well. How many successes did you get on the prophecy roll?
I got 6.
Okay. Would you like to take a condition, apply a condition to the scene, gain a point of mana?
Oh, let's see. How much mana do I have? Might be that one. Oh, yeah. I'm definitely taking a mana.
Okay. You regain a point of mana as you prophesize here in the heart of the time snake. And in the heart of the time snake, you can see that you are in some ways outside of time. There are normally timelines, lots of timelines, but here there is only one timeline, and you can see it kind of hazy. It's not formed, but what are your questions about it?
Oh, man. I had a bunch of them, and then some of them happened already. So I'm very curious. Okay, so I guess my first question is going to be is if I were to touch the orb, would I control the time snake?
No. You do not think that you would have control over the time snake by touching the orb. In fact, as you envision yourself touching it, control is wrested away from you.
Okay. If we all touch the orb, would we be able to control it?
You feel that there is a way for you to all control the orb together, but only together could you begin to control it.
All right. If we were to stand back and sort of be defensive, would the black figure attack us in some way?
You don't think that the black figure would immediately attack you.
If I were to go down the corridor that Ethyl referred to earlier, would I encounter other parallaxes?
Which corridor? Straight where the figure is coming from? Behind you where you just left the Imaginarium? Or towards either one of the sides, left or right?
I think it was to the right way.
If you go down to the right, you see yourself entering darkness, but you don't see another parallax there.
That was 5 questions, I think. I have one more. Okay. If Mona continues to touch the orb, will she lose herself?
Yes. You can see Mona ripping apart at the seams. Cut to Mona. Great news. As you touch the orb, you can feel your consciousness slip from your body into a series of different realities. It's like you're flickering between versions of yourself, and it takes a moment for you to get it to stabilize. But as it does, what do you think? What are you doing as everything's flashing around you?
I'm thinking,
Whoa, this is awesome. I've never encountered a machine like this. I wonder what it does and how it works.
As you think those thoughts, you find yourself underneath a giant twisted snake made of green stone. It shades you from the sun above it, and looking up at it, you see that it is massive, the size of several buildings put together. Around you, formless beings press energy, magical tasks into this shape. There's the sound of commotion around you.
What is it?
The giant snake above you?
Oh, that's the commotion? Okay.
Oh, what's the commotion?
Yeah.
As you turn towards the commotion, you see that there appear to be robed men in an argument with each other.
Okay, I'm going to approach the stone snake and also use my sound wave power to hear what those guys are discussing.
All right, so you levitate up towards the underbelly, and you can reach out and touch the cool stone snake if you would like.
Yeah, can I give it some of my own mana?
Yeah, you infuse mana into it as you are listening to those people speaking from a great distance. They say, or at least one of them does, "You've already doomed us. How could you create such a thing? Join with us and we can create perfection. But by keeping this to yourself, and the world begins to shift and blur, winding and unwinding. There's a series of flashes. And you're in whiteness, and then you're on the surface of the moon.
Ooh, just like in my second awakening.
Just like in your second awakening, and the thought gives you chills.
What do I see from up there?
You see Earth spinning. You see behind you a massive stone slab. It is nearly 10 feet high and then 30 feet wide and over 100 feet long. It has a series of levels before it, as if it was on a podium of some sort or a stage. It seems to come out of the ground without any borders, just melding out of the stone itself. There are footprints here on the ground.
You don't belong on the moon. Where are the footprints going?
Some of them go away, and some of them, large footprints, go towards this strange slab.
Does the slab look like it's made out of the same rock as the snake?
It does not appear to be green, but there is something about it.
Can I look at it with my prime sight?
When you look at it with your prime sight, you can see that it too, like the snake, appears to be made of magic in some way, but not awakened magic. This thing was spontaneously created, similar to the snake,
I'm gonna say to it, I'm sorry. I think you're in the wrong place.
Do you walk up onto the stage?
I don't know. Caity, guide me.
Yeah, it's a stage on the moon.
I mean, Mona does like her spotlight. I think before she does, can she see the gears like she did in her second awakening on the Earth?
You don't see the gears unless you're looking at it with your mage sight. You could turn away from this object and turn on your mage sight.
I'm going to turn my mage sight on, but look at the slate.
With your mage sight on, you can see that it is magic. You can see that it has no active spells. And there's sort of a emptiness that echoes from within it. It feels like the abyss, and you can feel it pulling at you, pulling you closer to it.
Nope. I jump out into space.
Okay. And as you are leaping, space begins to spin, and time winds and unwinds. And
Psych! There's no time and space. Oh wait, there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
Dang.
But launching yourself up and away, you launch out, and then you start barreling down, flying with intense speed towards the ground. Boston. Yeah. You're looking at Boston, you realize, for a moment, just a moment, before you hit, smashing into the buildings below you, destroying them with immense force.
Wait, can I use the friction to not like become a shooting star?
Yeah, roll forces plus gnosis to save yourself.
Oh, and I was successful with my exceptional or superlative luck, so does Mona also get that?
This is all happening in just a moment. Unfortunately, your spell did not resolve before Mona made connection with the machine.
Forces what?
Gnosis.
3.
With 3 successes, you diffuse the fire away from yourself, but it still loops back around, burning you. You feel a pain on your back. And again, you crash down, landing in rubble.
Oh no, that's not good. One of my obsessions is save the town, and it sounds like I just broke some of its buildings.
You've completely destroyed this room. You look around, and even though it's destroyed, completely collapsed, there's something familiar about this burning room. And through the smoke, you can see that there's a girl cowering underneath a desk. It's you.
Is this my first awakening?
It is.
Oh, cool. I'm traveling through time, I whisper to myself.
And younger Mona doesn't hear that, but instead hears screaming as the angel with the burning wings locks eyes with them. And time begins to spin and whirl.
I remember this. Now, how do I control this machine? It somehow took me into a different time. Something to do with the abyss on the moon. What are you trying to tell me? My own awakening. Can I think really, really hard about can I think really, really hard and pull the box out of my hand and think of like whoever, like the origin of this box?
You take out the box. And when you look at it, you realize that you don't have any other objects on you. But the box is here. And in your hands, it's cold, and as time spins and whirls around you, the box is static, just like you. And as you look at the box looks at you. You can feel it watching you like a hungry eye. You can feel it in your hands. You can feel it crawling around inside you.
Does it feel like the abyss?
Roll me a resolve plus gnosis check.
Four successes.
Back in the other room, Mona has reached out and touched this thing. Someone has broken through Mona's force field. There's smoke that's billowing into the room. And Hannah, do you finish your spell?
Yes, I got 2 successes and no successes on my paradox. My 2 paradox dice.
Oh, I can roll that for you in the future. But I'll let that no successes on the paradox happen this time. So yeah, you, Parallax, and Mona gain 8 agains.
8, 9s, and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. Cool. Do I notice anything? So Mona just touched it. I don't notice anything weird.
There's something weird with that smoke. It's got a spirit to it. There's a clear spirit of unbeing. Some sort of destruction being is in that smoke.
Nope. I'm going to use Howl from Beyond and try and push all the smoke back down the tunnel.
Yeah. Roll spirit gnosis. Ethels, what are you doing?
Oh, it's also a rote, so I add my crafts to it. Cool.
What is the ball of smoke? Can we tell it all?
Not a ball so much as it's a whole wall of smoke. It's as if it was being held at bay by that force field, and now that Mona's spell has lowered, it's just like sweeping into this room.
Can I try to shake Mona to get her out of her connection to the orb?
Yeah, you shake Mona. Mona looks at you. Mona's eyes are black now. Parallax, what do you do?
I announced to the room that I think we all need to touch the orb. Otherwise, we might lose Mona forever.
Or we all become like Mona forever.
I believe we can control the orb, but only as a team. And we gotta do it now.
Can I cast a luck spell on the Ethels real fast too?
Yeah. Why don't you roll that fate spell for older Ethel? And Hannah, how many successes on that howl?
I got 4, but I forgot Howl from Beyond is also one of my praxis, so it's an exceptional success.
You can only use it as a rote or a praxis. You cannot use it as both at once.
I use it as a rote. That's what I rolled.
Okay, so with 4 successes, you damaged very badly that spirit pouring into this room. And it reacts. The smoke itself recoils from you.
Great.
The
And I heard sorry.
The spirit that is there, however, is going to take an action. And as you have just damaged it, it's going to take an action against you. So at this point, you should roll your resolve plus your gnosis.
Oh, wait, it's the spirit of damaging stuff. That was, you said resolve plus gnosis. Oh, thank goodness I'm lucky. 2 successes.
So with 2 successes, you feel the spirit working some sort of spell around you. And as it does, it's kind of like weaving itself into and around your very being.
I got 5 successes on the luck spell.
Oh, that's an exceptional success. Would you like to regain a mana or apply a condition to yourself?
Can I apply a positive condition to myself?
Absolutely.
Like,
You could apply a condition to yourself like that you are feeling extraordinarily brave, and the next brave thing you do will give you a willpower back.
okay, I like that. Cheers.
Okay. So yeah, you give yourself a new virtue for the scene as you give yourself extra luck, and you also have 8 agains now. The figure who had collapsed to the ground rises up and starts dusting themselves off. And all of you have met this person before, though their timing seems suspicious. It's Rex, a man in a trench coat. He looks dirty, confused, and the spirit that is coalescing around you, Hah-nah, you can tell that it's also kind of coalescing around him.
Is he missing an arm?
He has a black glove on.
Asked
It's
Rex.
It was Rex was at the Witch Hollow Farms.
That's correct.
Was he a space mage?
He was, in fact, a space mage.
So now we do have all 5 members of the Captain Planet party. Cool. So I can tell that there's a destructive spirit around me, and so we don't want to do our team stuff while we've got destructive spirit embodied in us. Can I do, well, it's not banishment, but like a get out of my body exorcism?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll some spirit magic. So Mona has turned away from the orb and is looking at Ethyl. And the black eyes are weird. The stoic expression is weird. There's something going on with Mona here. And Mona looks at younger Ethyl and says in an intensely deep voice, "Defilers, you are all irrelevant." And with that, Charlie, would you actually roll 10 dice for me? And you get 8 agains, I heard.
I really don't think we should all touch the thing.
I got a 9.
Right. So then Mona raises their hands and, with the power of a god almost, destroys everyone in the room. You all take 9 points of lethal damage. Who's still alive?
I'll help it all.
So after your boxes fill with lethal, then it starts turning into aggravated damage.
Do the death shields help at all?
Actually,
And we all have life shields too.
the life shields do not help in this case, but I actually think that the death shields do help. Turn all that lethal damage into bashing damage.
9 of them?
9 of them.
Well, I only had 8 to start out with, so.
Aggravated is worse than lethal.
Aggravated is worse than lethal. It's completely black.
So if I had, do the bashing become lethal first and then the lethal become aggravated?
Yes, the bashing become lethal first and then the lethal become aggravated.
Okay.
So do you lose consciousness if you fill up your boxes with bashing damage?
Roll a stamina plus resolve -3.
Cool.
Do you lose consciousness if you've got 4 aggravated and 3 lethal, or are you dead?
You are not dead yet, but you are dying.
I got 1 success. Am I still awake?
You are still awake, Parallax.
I too got 1 success.
For both of the Ethels?
Oh no, that's Ethyl version 1.0. Oh, Ethyl version 2.0 also got 1 success.
All right.
Because I get the 8s, right?
Yep, y'all conscious still.
Hells yeah, 8s.
Black-eyed Mona fills the room with death lightning. Interestingly, this also hits Rex and Alora, and they're on the ground. It also hits whatever is in this space, throwing the books around.
Does black-eyed Mona look hurt by it?
No.
Okay. Younger Ethel is just going to take a swing and hit Mona in the head with her shovel.
The explosive
to
force
knock her
shovel?
out. Younger Ethel's shovel, I don't think is special, is it?
It's the older Ethel who has the normal shovel.
Okay. Younger Ethel will grab older Ethel's shovel and then swing and hit Mona with it.
Okay. Yeah, roll to hit. It's going to be a strength plus weaponry.
Man, why did I take antique weaponry and not shovel-based weaponry?
Obviously. And actually, you could spend a point of experience to gain a specialty in shovels if you would like.
I very much would like that.
Parallax, what do you do?
Okay.
Oh, man.
I got 2.
Okay.
So everyone's unconscious besides Ethel and myself?
And, of course, Mona, who seems fine until the shovel hits, slamming Mona in the stomach. Mona, you do take 3 points of bashing damage. Parallax?
That doesn't seem to do anything, does it?
I wanted to hit her head for what it's worth. I don't know if it makes a difference.
Okay. Yeah, it is not a solid hit on the head, but like you hit in the shoulders then.
Okay.
Good shovel crunch.
It doesn't knock her out of it.
No.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
Okay, older Ermengarde is going to explosive shovel into the thing in the middle then.
Okay. Yeah. Roll the same strength weaponry. Parallax.
I'm going to walk over to the orb and touch it myself.
Okay. That sounds super safe. Parallax reaches out and touches into the orb. Older Ethel picks up younger Ethel's shovel and starts smashing the orb at the same time. Hah-nah.
I got a 3, by the way, which, thank you, 8 again, is pretty impressive on 2 dice.
All right. So what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? It makes a very, very loud noise in this case. And there is a shock wave that reverberates throughout the room just before Parallax connects with his hand. The blast knocks everyone back for a point of bashing damage. And those struggling to maintain consciousness, roll another stay conscious check.
Oh, I'm still unconscious. Does one of my lethal turn into aggravated?
It does.
Oh, God. I'm going to die.
Hah-nah, you are not quite as unconscious as you ought to be, though, because in the blackness which your mind is swimming in, there's someone swimming here with you, a spirit of unmaking, some sort of spirit of naught, and it looks at you, and you look at it. And it seems to infer to you that it can help you. If you join with this spirit, it can undo all of this.
So older Ethel got 4, but younger Ethel got none on that resolve.
Okay, yeah. Older Ethel stumbles back, and younger Ethel gets knocked down by that blast.
No, Ethel.
Parallax, none. 1. Okay, on the edge of the room, you lift your head up once more, and you can see that Rex is kind of lifting their head up as well. Hah-nah, in your null space, what do you spirit think to this spirit?
I think unmaking everything is not going to solve anything. That's not going to help me or my friends or Boston. It's not a control Z spirit. It's a delete everything spirit.
It doesn't seem to be a control Z spirit, and as you look at it, it does seem to be just deleting things spirit. This spirit, it's different than other spirits that you've seen before. Do you want to spirit gnosis this thing?
Yeah. Oh, I still get my rerolls?
You do.
That's 4. Ooh, oh man. Let's do 7. 7.
Okay, with 7 successes, you can tell that this spirit is somehow tied to the abyss. You can tell that this spirit has some sort of connection to darker things within yourself. It's somehow connected to you. And while it is a spirit of unmaking, some sort of demon spirit of unmaking, it also seems to be a spirit with 7 successes that has a particular desire to destroy whatever is inside of Mona right now. It's kind of like an anti whatever that thing is.
Okay, so this is an unmaking, definitely not. Abyssal is necessarily bad, it's just not. The thing inside one is definitely bad. Do I get the sense that it'll go on a rampage if it has like a crack of door open, or will it follow a single? Can I command this spirit?
What is happening now is that you are about to make a bargain with this spirit if you would like to. So you could dictate terms even.
Ooh.
But of course, it would then have to accept those terms.
Okay. What if I'm thinking of Anemi and I'm thinking of May. This is such a bad idea. I'm going to say, you can coexist in me and with me into the real world, but you can only act under my orders. And can I make a persuasion roll?
Yeah, I think that's appropriate for this situation.
Definitely not intimidating. Is that manipulation, persuasion, or composure?
I think it is. Actually, composure could work in this case. Composure plus persuasion.
Two.
With 2 successes, the creature seems to accept this deal. And in your mind, you can almost see as if there's a contract drawn up with a place for you to sign.
Okay. And if I speed read the contract, it says the thing that I said.
It seems to say that you will share a body, but it will only take actions when you ask it to.
That seems safe, right, guys?
No.
When I ask it to. Yeah, I'm pretty peaceful. I'm not all about destroying things. I want to save us and save whatever the thing that's eating Mona is. I'm gonna say, yeah, it'll be a combination of creation and destruction. Perfect. I'm gonna sign it.
Okay. Roll your wisdom. Roll 3 dice, I mean.
Well, I got no successes.
Well, great news. It seems like a great idea to you, and you lose a point of wisdom. Then, Hannah's body rises off of the ground, sprouting massive arms of shadow. And Hannah and Mona charge at each other and begin to fight. Parallax, Ethyls.
Do I notice if Aurora is? I'm sure she's like out of it, in the corner somewhere. I have one last wild idea, but she's unconscious now, right? Yeah. I'm gonna try to make my way over to her, and then I want to maybe pick her up and put her hand on the orb.
Okay. You make your way over to her. She is unconscious. As these things are fighting, you could try to sneak in there and put her onto the orb, but that would not be consensual.
Yeah, no. I'm going to try to wake her up first.
Okay. Give me a medicine check. Maybe wits medicine.
I hopefully have 1 point of medicine. Please say yes.
So, Hannah, would you roll a 13 dice pool?
Oh, yeah.
And technically, this is you, and it is still in the time limit, so 8 agains do occur. 2. With 2 successes, she kind of like groggily comes to as you are holding her there. And she looks up at the kaiju fight that's happening in this room as Mona seems to be now rising up, inhumanly levitating with massive power flowing through their hands, black lightning coursing out into Hannah's body, which is badly damaged already, but the shadowy forms are taking most of it. It wraps itself around, and Ethyl, you're very close to this. You can see it shouting in a language that is not language right into Mona's face. And inside, Hannah, you kind of get the sense that whatever is inside of Mona is being threatened and told off. There is a moment where Mona just looks at you with hatred, and then it stops possessing her and drops onto the ground. Mona, you hear a voice inside your head say, "Don't look for me again."
How can I if I don't even know who you are? Can I do like a wisdom check to see if I know who it is?
You get the sense that it somehow came from the box.
Oh, okay. Sure. I don't care about this box. Do I remember what I did, or was it just all blank?
You do remember what you did. You remember everything that just happened as that being possessed your body.
You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm probably gonna be like traumatized from this experience.
There's silence for a moment as the smoke that had been drifting around this room seems to have coalesced inside of Hannah. Hannah, you turn another one of those lethal damage into aggravated as your body is still dying. Do you have some life magic that you could do to save yourself?
Yeah, I'm almost. Oh, hi, cat. I'm almost all aggravated damage. Yeah, I'm going to use my my praxis healing on myself. Just laying there.
You want to overreach to do aggravated healing too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do.
Mend with life 4, and you add 1 reach. It costs some mana and it heals aggravated damage. You'll at this point have 3 dice of paradox, but you can mitigate that by using a tool.
Yeah, I have not changed any of my clothes in days. I still have my flask from that very first introduction, and I very slowly and painfully just take a sip of it and think about it as medicinal.
All right.
All right, so that mitigates the overreach, right?
Well, you'll still have a die of paradox.
Okay, cool. That doesn't add to my dice pool, right? That's insane.
No.
Right, okay, cool. Oh man, I got none.
You do not
I'm just a little drunker now.
Your blood is just pooling around you.
No.
Try again.
You can, but can you take another point of damage? Or would that fill all your boxes with aggravated?
That would fill my boxes with aggravated.
Before
You can
this,
do medicine on you before you bleed out.
Help.
I was going to say, I have two ideas, one potentially better than the other. So there is a sort of healing spell I can do to restore corpse, I think. So can I try to improve Hah-nah a little bit? And if not, I'm going to try to put her soul in her flask. So if her body dies, we can put her soul maybe into someone else. Like another Ethyl.
You want to pull out Hannah's awakened soul, is what I'm hearing?
That's the second best option. The first best option is to just see if I can heal her body a little bit. Do they look like they're really going to die right now?
They do look pretty bad.
Do I believe that if I pulled their soul out, I could put it into another body?
You have never tried to do anything like that. And you also know that all of you have very badly damaged souls right now.
I also have an abyssal spirit cohabitating my body. No one has medicine?
I have survival colored in.
Survival is not medicine.
I have no medicine.
Can one of us do a medicine check at a disadvantage then?
When you say a disadvantage, what you mean is -3 dice.
Willpower.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go over to Hannah and do that
help.
roll.
And I'll
All right.
help.
I'll do a willpower check.
So it's going to be a dexterity plus medicine check to try to stop the bleeding, and -3.
And I use a willpower. And yeah.
I can't heal myself or I'm gonna die trying.
Well, you did just try to heal yourself. You will get another action if you don't bleed out right now.
I am exceptionally lucky, and I used a willpower. I did get 2 successes on that.
That's incredible.
Stopping the bleeding.
You can try another overreach spell to heal your aggravated damage.
Me? Oh, thank God. Okay.
The paradox continues to grow, however.
Yeah, yep. I'm also going to do a willpower because I'm really close to dying. Yeah, 3 more days.
All right, you heal 8 points of aggravated and lethal damage.
Okay, so they turn to bashing?
Nope, they're just
They're
gone.
Oh, thank goodness. 1. I am fully healed. I love being a life mage.
Wow.
Thanks, Parallax.
That was scary. I'm going to go back to Laura and see how she's doing.
Alora and Rex are both just like looking on in shock and horror.
Hey,
Right.
Rex, put yourself together.
What are you doing here?
Trying to save the world.
What just happened? Where'd that thing go?
It left me. It just told me not to look for it anymore. Listen, I touched the orb in the middle, and It brought me back in time to my first awakening. Also brought me to the moon where there was something from the abyss, like a plaque on the moon. Bad news bears. I started thinking about this box I have, obviously controlled by some dark magic, and I shouldn't think of them. I think it was the same guy who told me that I know nothing and that he's in charge of the God Machine. Does the God Machine have its own god? Come on, Rex.
Rex looks startled, has gotten up off the ground, just shakes his head, says, "This is way above my pay grade.
Well, do you know anything about this machine? How'd you know to get here? How did you get here?
I didn't mean to get here.
What were you doing before you got here? And can I see if he still has that spirit attached to him, or is it just not?
That spirit is still around, but it's not the same spirit in a way. It's like most of it went into you, and there's just lingering elements floating around this room.
You guys, when I look at interconnections, Ethyl has a very strong connection to the orb.
Well, didn't Ethyl, you put magic on the orb. You did something and it made a weird noise just before Rex rolled in.
I also touched it before.
What happened when you touched it?
I got sort of lost in this crazy changing world for a while.
That sounds like my experience as well.
No one else was there, though. So there's no one for me to hurt other than Parallaxes. But I don't remember anything happening like what happened to you.
Yeah, I think those were, half of them were my own personal experiences. It kind of turned into like a angel that became inflamed. Mona's a little on the edge right now. She's gone through a lot. Her eyes twitching.
Perhaps we should all cast magic towards the orb. That's what I'm thinking.
That thing we did before with the fate spell all working together.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a great idea. Hold hands.
With Rex and Alora, all of us?
I mean, Alora held hands with us last time we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would make 6, and there's 5 points.
Rex
but Laura's here, and Laura's important, probably. We're all weirdly important. Except for you. I don't know why you're here. Welcome.
Yeah, Rex is looking very skeptically at all of you. Rex says, "You said something about that thing brought you through time?"
Yes.
Then there's a chance. All right, I'll help you.
Yeah, great, because around it, I don't know if you've read it, but it says, "Through time we are given, I weave the fate around our path," if that makes any sense to you.
Through time given, weave the fate. Can I change? Maybe we'll change fate, whoever you all are. You seem to trust each other.
We do. And we trust you, Rex. I've met you before, and I'll meet you in your future. You're a good person.
I guess that's how you know my name, he says. Real
Wait,
uncomfortable.
Do you not recognize us?
He shakes his head.
Oh, you're from a different timeline or point in time.
No, because I've already met Rex for the first time before. So this can't be the first time.
Rex, how did you get here?
Is this the real Rex?
I walked through a door. I was following someone, investigating, he says.
Who are you investigating?
Just some crazy people.
Is there like an insight roll?
No, I can. Mona and I can vouch for him. He's done some investigating for some crazy people when we met him. I'm pretty sure he's the real one.
Okay. Yeah, no, I just misremembered. All right, Rex, hold my hand.
He's gonna hold your hand. So there are 5 points around this orb. Who are at the 5 positions?
I guess I'm at the through the life inside us, I move the spirit around us. I guess I've done the reverse today, but that's fine.
I'm the through the death that awaits us, I bring the creation and matter from which to build again.
Is that going to be older or younger Ethel?
Younger Ethel passed out. It's older Ethel.
You're just leaving younger Ethel on the ground, just like
I have no medicine abilities, and unless she's a corpse, I don't think I can help her. I'm gonna pull her over with me, and I don't know, sit her up so she's propped up in front of me, leaning against my legs at least.
You want me to help? Here, Ethel, let me just...
Are you strong enough to do it again? To fix her?
Oh yeah, I'm fully healed now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you do both of us?
I'm gonna do one at a time now. Oh yeah, this is already 4, and it's a praxis, so it's an exceptional success. Like
yeah, all of younger Ethel's wounds are healed.
Right.
They're just magic back to full.
Okay. All right. I'm at the...
All right. So you're having, rather than Alora, you're going to have Rex take a spot around this circle?
Rex,
he can be-
I forget what Mage he was. He was space?
You've seen him teleport in the other
Yeah.
two.
Do we want?
Can someone do a fate spell to see if he's as connected as Alora is?
Oh, I can do that. Fate plus Gnosis?
Mm-hmm.
Not that one.
Was the person that came out in black through that fog, was that Rex or is that... Oh, okay.
Rex.
I got 2. Kitty.
With 2 successes, you can tell that while they are both connected to the orb, there's a clear branching of fate here.
Oh. So like it would make a difference in the future depending on which one we choose to attach to the orb?
Yes.
Wowzers.
I think it should be Alora.
You are so biased. You just married her yesterday.
That's not the point. She's fated to be here. Plus, she is unique in the sense that there aren't alternate versions of her. And the reason why we're here at all is because she's here.
Yeah, but she's not a space mage.
Also, here is terrible.
And someone is killing all the space mages maybe to prevent this from happening, but there's now only one left.
Well, I'm also a space mage to a degree, but sounds like I'm outnumbered here.
Oh,
So I
isn't
guess I'll.
there a like nature of destiny type of thing?
It could be.
Would that be a fate too?
You could roll a fate spell if you want for a mana. What exactly are you looking at? Trying to determine from this.
I want to see if the nature of Rex's destiny is it destructive or is it not? Is that at all?
If he has a destiny merit, you'd be able to see that, and you'd be able to see his doom and kind of like the broad sweeps of his destiny. But if he doesn't have a destiny at Fate 2, you won't be able to see where his path is leading.
I think I'm going to do it for Allura then. I mean, more likely to be destined. Plus, we have never one.
Oh man, do I remember future Rex telling me what happened? Didn't he say the last people he was with all died?
He did. Oh, yeah. He totally did.
I forgot about that.
That could be us. Like, his arm's not gone yet.
Maybe it's lost because it touched the thing.
No, but
Sorry,
he's
I
wearing
exceeded.
a glove, right? His hand's
He is
already
wearing a glove.
starting. Yeah. That's something else. It's like slowly decaying. But I do remember meeting him when it was decayed further.
Much
like it was
further.
his whole arm. And he was saying how the last group he was with, he was the only survivor.
As you look at Allura, you can't tell. She doesn't seem to have a bright burning destiny like you and Parallax do. But you can tell that this is a moment of destiny for her, a moment that will determine the course of her life.
Which one?
So when I did prophesize before, Rex wasn't here yet, and it seemed like it would work with just the 5 of us.
I mean, I feel like it will work either way, but in different ways.
Let me get this straight, says Rex. You've never used this and you're just going to turn it on?
Oh, I've used it. It went terribly wrong.
Same.
We're going to use it a different way because that's how science works.
I'm not really a scientist, but are you sure?
Nope.
But I guess if we're wrong, you'll never find out.
I mean, this seems like a creative engine thing. You're building worlds, so maybe it's like will help fix the timeline. We're at the middle of the timeline, so maybe it'll help fix it.
Oh, I'm down for fixing the timeline, he says. Things have happened to me that really shouldn't have happened.
Ooh, Rex, were you just with a group of other people who all died?
It's a long time since I was with a group of people, but everyone around me seems to die.
Cool.
Glad you're here.
I now agree with Parallax and vote not Rex.
Yeah, me
No
too.
offense.
No, but if he survived, like, and then everyone else died, maybe he wasn't involved in the thing. Because if he was involved in the spell, then he would also have the same fate befall him, right? Instead of being an observer.
As far as you can tell, Rex seems to have lived through this experience because this Rex is younger and you met him when he was older.
And I wish I remembered what he told me the first time we met. Can you look into my memories, Parallax?
I can try looking in your timeline. That being said, yeah, I guess I could look back even in my own timeline to see or recall what he said.
Yeah, I remember he talked to me in a street. I'm pretty sure you were sleeping and I went to get coffee.
Oh. If that's the case, that might be a little more difficult for me to do because I don't have any mind. If I was physically there at the location you're talking about, I might be able to do it. I could certainly try, but I don't know.
So Rex had shown up to both of you in Chain Paris's church after Parallax had knocked that book to the ground and read it.
Yep.
He showed up warning you about the dangers of the book and the alternate timeline. Then, after that interaction, an even older version of Rex showed up to just Mona. And that version of Rex warned Mona not to trust Parallax.
We're going with Rex.
Well, Laura, what do you think?
Laura says, I don't know what that is. I don't really know what's going on, but I am tired of just following you around. I want to choose where I'm going. I want to have powers like you.
All right, what's stopping you, girl? Where do you want to go?
I want to go home. I want to go to yesterday.
That's time magic. Mona can tell you. Well, actually, Parallax can tell you all about that one.
It's a very real possibility that by participating in this may awaken your ability to cast magic. That being said, there have been countless others who in this pursuit have lost everything, including their sanity. If that is a risk you are willing to take, then this might be your moment.
I'll do anything for my family.
It's not the time for it.
Yeah, there's other consequences besides a small possibility of getting magic from whatever this awful device is. Awful helpful devices.
Yeah, you need to awaken in a safe place with good babysitters to keep an eye on you. This is not it. You're not in a good atmosphere. You'll have a
I
bad
don't know
trip.
about you, but that's not how it worked for any of us. Our awakenings didn't happen in a safe space with people looking over us. It was chaotic and it was awful. But my first decision still stands. I believe Laura should be the one to do it with us. So we got one vote for each. Hah-nah and Ethyl. What are your takes?
Well, what part of the poem could Aura be?
Well, that's the thing. She isn't awakened yet. But I feel like she is, well, the only reason why we're here right now is because she is here physically. And the fact that her timeline is fixed to this point right here, right now, I think that's the clue for me. That's what's persuading me to say that she is the one that needs to be part of it. But we'll do a vote and we'll decide from there.
It does say in the only space that isn't hooked to you, Mona, Hah-nah, or I, through these minds which contain us, I see beyond the space which divides us. How could that be about her? No offense.
And if we all had to be singular points, like none of us are singular points. We've all been split and sometimes killed. Maybe she's supposed to be an observer. A witness.
Well, seems like I've been outvoted on this. So,
All right, we're gonna do this thing then. I stand here at through these minds line.
Either it works or we destroy the world more. Yeah.
Or we'll die.
Who begins?
So what are we casting?
I guess.
I think that's what we're doing.
All right, same fate spell, interconnections.
Should we say the poem, or parts of the poem in high speech?
Yeah.
And because you're saying it in high speech, it doesn't need to be word for word what is down. You can take an artistic interpretation and say the same thing.
So I could reverse it so it is more accurate.
You could.
Okay. So I say, but the spirit is destructive.
Oh, that spirit's still inside you.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot we didn't fix that.
It's fine. It's kind of like, a terrible conscience. It's only going to do what I ask it to do. So I'm not going to change it around because otherwise it might interpret it. Okay, so I'm going to say in high speech, through the life inside us, I move the spirit around us. And do my fate spell.
Through the time we are given, I weave the fates of our path.
Through the all that is, I conjure forces to shape the world.
Through these minds which contain us, I see beyond the space which divides us.
Older Ethel will take the spot and younger Ethel will stand behind her with her hands on her shoulders, and they'll say in unison, through the death that awaits us, I bring creation and matter from which to build again.
And reality cracks open. And the five of you all enter into the orb at the same time, joining together to form a single consciousness, a single will through Rex, as Rex becomes the interpreter through each of your minds. Hannah, you feel each of you connected as one living being. And because you now all share perceptions, you all can feel yourselves connected as one living being, one flash in the pan of all of existence. And all of existence stretches before you now as you see the snake for what it truly is. It's a time ship. Time flows like a river, branching into a series of streams, possibilities, and other times. But one current, an average of all timelines, becomes time itself. And this ship can float on that river in any direction. You can see as time stretches before you that time goes on past this point into a future somewhere. But back in what is the past, the river has these gnarly knots which wind in and on to itself. There are several of these, and as you look back, far back, there is a beginning to this river as well, a place where time starts. And that's where we'll begin our next session.
So we're not dead.
Well,
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, it's a Doctor Who theme song was what we need. And
Wowzers.
Yeah.
everyone gets a beat. You all get an arcane beat for turning on the time machine.
Oh my God, that was so stressful. It gave me a migraine.
yeah, I was pretty darn sure I was going to die.
Yeah, I thought I was going to
Box.
kill everyone. I thought I was going to kill everyone.
Yeah, that was bad. Does this count as understanding the nature of my destiny? Getting close to it.
It does not count as understanding the nature of your destiny.
This isn't it.
When you did roll that wisdom check, you also gained a arcane beat.
My wisdom's at 4 now.
Ooh, fun.
Welcome to the party. Ooh.
Do I get an beat for finding out how things work?
I think you do gain a beat for finding out how things work, specifically that there's something to do with that box in this time stream.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that box. I'll probably just bury it back in the well.
No, I think we need it.
Yeah, definitely need it.
Can I have another beat for having an unmaking abyssal spirit living inside of me?
I think that was in the wisdom check, but does it match any of your obsessions?
No, definitely not. No. I don't have a new aspiration. Abyssal spirit. Gosh. Exorcise abyssal spirit.
Did we pick the right person?
There is no right person.
We
Would
should have
it
been
work?
Laura.
The person that you pick determines what happens next. I will tell you this, however, that was Alora's one chance to awaken. And she would have awakened as a Mastigos mage. And then you would have had a dream trip inside your own heads as you all experienced Alora's awakening together, which could have been distracting.
Yeah, we don't need distractions. Like I said, now's not the time. We're busy saving the world.
Oh, sorry, Alora.
Sorry.
Not sorry. Ermengarde's still not sold on this life.
What?
It's been like,
So
let's just
close.
count it out how many days it's probably been for Ermengarde. Have we even reached a month yet? Like,
Well,
hell a ride.
older Ethel, you had a whole lifetime of nonsense back in the past.
That's true.
But younger Ethel.
It's been a wild ride.
Well, you gotta sink or swim. You're swimming. This is how you do it.
Olympic level swimming.
I
Man,
mean,
oh
if you can
man.
get through this, you'll be able to get through anything. This is basically what being a mage is like, but a lot less intense.
I think I'm still going to get Laura awakened. I'm just going to have her touch the orb by herself. And we'll
Oh,
see what
God.
happens.
She explodes.
Yeah, remember that happened
mine
to
didn't
me? I
explode.
got possessed.
Yeah, that's because you opened the box.
I did not open the box.
Oh, you were
man.
thinking about it.
All sorts of things could happen. I remember when Ethel first touched that orb, one of the outcomes of that was Ethel died a terrible death. But Ethel didn't die a terrible death.
We shall see.
That was good, but also very stressful.
I didn't know how to answer your question, Caity, about what would happen if you touched the orb, because I had no idea how much that remaining Ethel would have remembered of like the killed one and then like the other cycles of the Ethels trying to get out of. There's a room full of dead Ethels for a reason.
I see.
So where did Rex come from? Why was he covered in dirt?
The guard.
That's a good question.
And we will answer that question perhaps in the future because you are sharing Rex's mind to some degree.
Sweet.
Gosh, we're really getting towards the end, and it's been a pleasure gaming with you all. Can't wait to see what happens next time.
Dun, 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 dun.
And
Wow, wow, wow.